Welcome back to the Road to 890 Jump series. This is episode 2. In episode 1, we set the stage for what this journey is all about, working our way up to Star Citizen's floating palace, the 890 Jump. Today in episode 2, me and my buddy Mr. Suga, who you guys met in the first episode, are putting our whole C's to the test. Yes, I said our. We found out that really using one whole C wouldn't really be enough, so we got two. And a moment of transparency, that's why episode 2 has kind of been taking a while to record, as of, with all the other content I'm putting out. It takes a little bit to acquire two whole C's, split between two people, time constraints, things of that nature, and obviously not wanting to spend real money in this game. It definitely takes a little bit to build up the almost 16 million it takes to afford one. But jumping back into it, if you've flown a whole sea, you know it's not just a ship. It's for the better part of everything that it is. It's a tool. It's massive, and it's designed for just a single purpose, and that's hauling huge amounts of cargo. But as you've probably heard, with great capacity comes great risk. So in that meaning, every trip is a gamble. Pirates, server issues, missteps. There were instances of us getting interdicted without cargo on our ships, and obviously server issues, those accounted for minutes lost, and with minutes lost, that could be costing us tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of AUEC. That's why when we were strategizing, choosing the right route and the right steps to how we approached the cargo runs meant everything to the operation. So knocking out two birds with one stone, one of the first decisions we made was to stop running the long distance hauls. Yeah, they looked good, they paid quite a bit, but they ate up so much time and they exposed us to these instances of server failures or interdictions. Instead, we found a sweet spot, messing a little bit with the routes. We found that we can get from Everest Harbor to Pyro Station. Same payout as the longer treks at about that 689,000 AUEC per run, but at a much shorter distance. That means less downtime, less exposure, and way more efficiency. And in a grind like this, that's everything. Every successful run that we completed got us that much closer to the 890 jump. And it's not just about flexing the luxury ship. There is a purpose, and I'll get right into that. The 890 jump will actually be becoming the hub for a whole new series that will be starting once its acquisition is confirmed. A place to bring the community together, host events, and give us a new layer of gameplay beyond just grinding. And I say that because Star Citizen for me is a brand new game, and there's infinite possibilities that can happen, that can take place, and there is a story everywhere that everyone can write, almost like you can write your own lore for the game. And that's why for me, I want to open a bazaar for the game, and this bazaar is going to be ran from the interior of the 890 jump, where we can go wherever across the verse and set up shop, and anyone in the Star Citizen community can come onto the 890 jump, trade with us, engage with us, so on and so forth. That is kind of the whole purpose of this, and that's why all of these, lucrative and energy intensive steps are taking place, because there is a grand plan. And as boring as these beginning steps are, it will be that much more satisfying to us involved whenever we see everything actually fall into place. And this is the purpose of this series. It's playing as a roadmap. It's playing as a journal entry of every step of what we're doing, why we're doing it, what XYZ fulfills. And I'm hoping that in the further episodes of this, we unravel the text, we unravel the book that is, the mission at hand. And as, further episodes are made, and hopefully you guys see that, it inspires other people to go out there and pursue their own thing, make an org or join an org that is centered around the things that you as the player enjoy doing. Sorry about that. Sometimes I really get into a groove and I just start yapping. That's just the thing. You'll probably see it in other videos. You'll probably see it if you see me on stream. That is just the way it is. But experiencing the Hull C and going back to that was a different dynamic of the game. Until then we were, doing hauling on lighter freighter ships like the Argo Raft, but the Hull C was a different animal. Its weight you could actually feel, on an empty ship versus a fully stocked ship. The weight was something to get used to, and that did cause quite a few crashes. And I'm self-admittedly, it was me crashing into Pyro Station multiple times, and I understand that that's a rookie move, but hey, it is what it is. But the Hull C, once we actually fell into the groove and understood the mechanics of it, as far as the physics of it, I would say, we were really in there. We were grinding out and making about 3.5 million AUEC an hour each. So I say you multiply that by 2, you're doing 7 million. And this did take a few days of hours long sessions until we could get to the 890 jump. But after a few days of grinding, putting my hands over my eyeballs so they wouldn't fall out of my skull so that I could keep grinding, we finally did it. We finally got the 890 jump through hours of work, grinding efficiently, and just making good business choices, you could say. We did it. And this is one of those things because, again, the 890 jump is just a behemoth of a ship. It was just one of those things that when you first set your eyes on it, on photos and videos, that's one thing. But when you're actually in this thing and walking around it, I was definitely getting lost. But rest assured, we got our hands on it, and that kicks off the next phase, which, when it comes to opening this bazaar for people to shop with and trade with us and engage with us, it incorporates actually having stock, actually having things so people would want to come and see what we have. So that's what we're covering in the next episode. So this is kind of the first major milestone of the bigger plan, the bigger plot, if you will. And I am excited to see how this unfolds as we on our end are working to create this thing that lives and breathes in the verse. And I'm hoping that I get to engage and meet some of you guys who may watch this video or watch me on stream. But if you've made it to the end of this video, I just wanted to give a real big thank you. Again, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and even subscribe if you want to follow along for more things stream related or Star Citizen related as we develop the series. But I've been Persian Monstar, and I hope to catch you guys soon on the next one. Peace out. Love. Bye.